This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. The OPEC Plus group of oil producers is discussing output cuts of more than 1 million barrels per day, BPD, OPEC sources said, and voluntary cuts by individual members could come on top of that, making it their largest cut since 2020. The group is set to meet on October 5 in Vienna, in person for the first time since March 2020, against a backdrop of falling oil prices and months of severe market volatility which prompted top OPEC Plus producer, Saudi Arabia, to say the group could cut production. OPEC Plus, which combines OPEC countries and allies such as Russia, has been gradually raising its output target to unwind the record cuts it made in 2020.
Top oil exporter Saudi Arabia may raise prices for most crude grades it sells to Asia in November on expectations for demand recovery and Chinese refineries to increase output following the issuance of new product export quotas. The November official selling prices, OSP, for flagship Arab light crude may rise by 25 cents a barrel, according to the median of the responses of 5 refining sources surveyed by Reuters on September 29, -30. Oil demand is expected to improve, which we can see from current market structure, said one respondent.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
European Union country leaders are set to ask the European Commission to propose a cap on gas prices, when they meet on Friday, according to a draft of their joint meeting statement. The EU leaders will ask the EU executive to work urgently on actions including proposing workable solutions to reduce prices through gas prices cap, according to the draft statement, seen by Reuters. EU countries on Friday approved a set of bloc-wide measures including windfall profit taxes, to attempt to raise cash to cushion consumers from soaring energy bills. But states are split over their next move, which leaders will debate at their meeting in Prague.
Oil prices jumped more than $4 on Monday as OPEC Plus considers reducing output by more than 1 million barrels per day, BPD, to buttress prices with what would be its biggest cut since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Brent crude futures were up $4.38, or 5.1%, to $89.52 a barrel by 9:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 13:50 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was up $4.79, or 6%, at $84.28. Oil prices have tumbled for 4 straight months since June, as COVID-19 lockdowns in top energy consumer China hurt demand while rising interest rates and a surging US dollar weighed on global financial markets.
Next, we have the top news in metal markets.
Gold prices climbed more than 1% on Monday to an over 1-week peak, lifted by a dip in the dollar and US bond yields, while silver surged on strong safety demand as it heads for its best day since February last year. Spot gold was up 1.7% at $1,687.99 per ounce, as of 14:50 GMT, its highest since September 22. U.S. gold futures rose 1.5% to $1,696.70. Silver climbed 7.6% to $20.44 per ounce. The gold and silver market is seeing a modest safe haven bid, and support from fellow raw commodity crude oil posting solid gains, said Jim Wyckoff, senior analyst at Kitco Metals.
India has raised total import duty on platinum to 15.4% from 10.75%, the government said in a notification on Monday, seeking to bring parity in import duty structure between gold and platinum. In July, New Delhi raised import duty on gold to 15% but then kept the tax on platinum imports unchanged at 10.75%. India's platinum imports in September jumped multifold to a record high as refiners imported a large amount of gold containing small amounts of platinum but registered the purchases with customs as platinum alloy to avoid paying higher duties. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. Chicago wheat futures rose on Monday to hold near a 3-month high as a reduced official estimate of the U.S. harvest and heightened tensions in the Ukraine war kept attention on global supply risks. Corn rose also held firm, supported by a lower-than-expected estimate of U.S. stocks. Soybeans inched up as strength in mineral and vegetable oil markets helped counter pressure from a firm dollar and Friday's larger than expected U.S. soybean stocks tally.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.